good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us this moment. It is Mayegun Live. Really sorry about last night. Something happened. It was one of the most foolish mistakes. And that cost us that session. Well, thank you so much for joining me this hour. Read the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. And tell them that Mayegun today. I've got loads of gist for us, a bit of a catch up, and then we could possibly have a session to, take calls. So share this. Doyin Okupe again. Take it or leave it. 62,000 naira minimum wage. No, we can't even pay that. State governors. The wahala where the ground right now cooking is massive, and you should be aware. So share this. So Motide, good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching us this moment. And thank you for joining me. So the first part of this gist tonight is going to be like a catch-up. And the first one is coming from the video that has been making the round. It is coming from Doyin Okupe, 70 years old man. He came out to say he knew that Tinubu was the best candidate and the person that was going to win. When he, Doyin Okupe at the time, was blaspheming against God by saying God assured him that, anyway. So he came out today. He's still part of the last interview, the one that he said Tinubu is like Jesus Christ, because the situation of Nigeria has gone so bad, worse, that only Tinubu that volunteered himself to sacrifice himself for your sake, and therefore he should be given chance, it should be given time. But back to the new one released just about 2 days or yesterday. Doyin Okupe came out and said he knew all along, okay, that Tinubu was the best candidate, even when he was leading Peter Obi from one state to another. It was only Peter Obi that actually visited 36 states in Nigeria when he was an aspirant in PDP. And it was led on by Doyin Okupe. So a lot of people believe that Tinubu's Tinubu's criminal enterprise possibly used the compromise they had on him, or just used this greed, and it was from the onset sent along to go convince Peter Obi that Peter Obi could become the candidate, not Atiku. They said this is like people now giving credit to Tinubu, that Tinubu was the one who actually sent Doyin Okupe to go and lead Peter Obi on, and then when they realized that he won't get the ticket in PDP, to further lead him on to Labour Party. So him coming out now to say he knew all along, sort of is beginning to give credence to that assertion. And that, disappointingly, right, makes Tinubu like the genius they said he is. Evil genius. He is not a genius on how to actually make anything really work. But he is a genius according to Doyin Okupe. Tinubu was the best candidate because he had the money. He had all the connections. A lot of people hold him. And therefore, they felt like, because he made a lot of people. He made governors. He made senators. He made this. He made that. So all of them feel like they hold him. And according to Doyin Okupe, this was what makes Tinubu the best candidate at the time. But he didn't tell Obi, nor the obedience. But he's talking now. But if you are watching me on YouTube and Facebook, it will be ideal for you to see this. This was before Uncle Doyin, because that's what some people call him, Uncle Doyin, or some call him Doctor. Just before he finally withdrew from the entire thing, once his EFCC criminal case came up. But before that time, take a look at Doyin, and then you take a look at him a few days ago. This was just less than a year and a half ago, 2022, guys.
It's clear to me from what I've seen, and I'm a very experienced politician and I know what I'm talking about. It will be impossible to defeat Peter Obi in this primary. It's absolutely impossible.
I know I can turn around this country.
Today, by His grace, I am the Director General of the Obi Dati Campaign Organization. In that capacity, I have power and authority to run the affairs of this campaign. But today, publicly, I surrender all that power and authority to the God Almighty. Father, Lord, neither me, nor Peter Obi, nor Obi Dati, nor your children here gathered know where, how to get to where we want to get to. But you are the all-wise God. You are the omnipotent God. We are like but David before this Goliath. But we will, with your mercy and support, we shall conquer. This is our very first public gathering. You say if we acknowledge you in all our ways, whatever we want, you will do it. Father, this day, as the Director General, I act in office and capacity of that office, and I say, we give it all to you. Guide us. They deride us. They mock us. We are small in their eyes, but yet we are big in your hands. With you, we know we are going to win. Because we are not going to do it by our strength, by our money, or by our influence. Some of them, if they win, they will only acknowledge money because it's their money that will have given them the victory. Some of them, if they win, they will say it's because of their long standing in politics and the people they know and their leverage. But if we win, the whole world knows only you, God. Only you, God, could have done it. And we will give you the glory. Glory be to your name. For in the name of the Creator of heaven and earth, I have prayed.
nuisance leleyi.
A lot of people thought, especially some of you, the newbies in politics, you just felt like, what other redemption could there be for Doyin Okupe, a 70-year-old man, to have dropped the people that has money and follow those who have no money, but only God. Only you, God. That was easy. And a lot of young people, religious people, they just forgot that the man standing before them is a thief. But with Peter Obi, a new Nigeria is possible. So let's do it. So Obi himself, I don't know if he was just himself a person of a circumstance. Because, I mean, if he's a good judge of character in the first place, let's be serious. What is Doyin Okupe? What was Doyin Okupe doing with the Obi? But it was at the time where all of una the obedient, one Nigerianists. That was the moment you were so determined that you could beat the corrupt establishment in their own game when they are the ones who are setting the rules. So you ignored all the red flags, didn't you? There are many of them who rode on that drive. Today they are senators, they are reps. Guess what? They are singing the praises of Tinubu. Some of you are wondering why. Disappointed, used, betrayed. That is what Nigeria is. That's what Nigeria does to you. And that's why you have to stop making yourself available to be used to legitimize or validate any form of corrupt elections they say they are holding. You could see through it all. Nigeria is vast. And you see, as vast as it is a crime scene. And when they tell you about the unity among the criminals in Nigeria, there are those that somehow, they do not want to be part of anything good. But they are always out there talking as if they are interested in anything good. Their job is to help those destroying Nigeria to keep you divided and scattered, of course. The only thing that is national in Nigeria is interests. And that interest is not about the interest of the people, the interest of those who uses your tribe, your ethnic, your religious card to get a seat at the table in Abuja. So they are all united. And there's only one thing that united them: crime. The crime of looting, ruining, dividing, and destroying Nigeria, which is always intentional. Everything you are seeing now is intentional. They are not coincident. They are like the results or the consequences of the actions and the inactions of all these people. When you talk about establishment is beyond the politicians you see. That's how you have to pay attention very well. When you are being used, you will know. When you are being channeled to kind of, you will know. And there's no point in coming back later and be like, man, I'm so disappointed. No, don't be. Nigeria is a crime den. It's like a crime scene, the criminals' den. Everyone you see out there trying to say they want to do something about, everybody is trying to take advantage just to get their own seat at the table. They will use you. And that is why, even if you have to participate in being used, you should have a saying that if you want to shave my head, I mean, at least I should be present, Abby. And that is why the likes of this man, Doyin Okupe, 70-something years old man, is proud to be involved in decimating the aspiration and the hope of millions of young people, only to turn around and throw it at your faces, throw it on your faces. I knew you were going nowhere. I was only just playing about with you. I knew the drug dealer was going to be your president. And in fact, he is the best. Can you imagine how Doyin Okupe shrunk? I mean, I shrunk in a space of 18 months, needed to be studied. Some said he's suffering from cancer. Is it not when somebody is nearing death that you repent all your actions and you begin to call for repentance and then, to make amends? But they are still here, even as they are dying and rotting away. They are rotting away, right? The evil in them is actually the pride or badge of honor for them. Now, listen to this. 70-something years old man.
To difficult situations.
You have only been on the outside of government during Buhari era. So you've seen on the inside during Obasanjo, you've seen on the inside during Jonathan.
Yeah.
You didn't see much of the inside in Yaradua. You didn't play much role there. For what you have seen across almost 25 years now, would you say the Bola Tinubu government has listened enough compared to other presidents?
Let me tell you for a fact.
He's only spent 1 year anyways, but...
Well, I've always said that you can never and should never, ever judge this administration like you judge other administrations. Because this is an abnormal situation in which this administration came to life. After such a prostate economy for 8 years, the government and governance was totally abandoned. Anything went at that time. So, things became so bad. There was a period of time that we were actually spending 90 cents out of every dollar we earned, to pay debts. So, and that was the point at which this administration came in. People are forgetting. Are
you giving this government a chance?
I'm not giving them a chance. I'm giving them more than a chance.
But you did not agree. You did not think that Bola Tinubu can do it.
No, that's not true.
You pitch your camp.
No, that's not true.
You pitch your tent with Peter Obi.
Sheung, that's not true. I was in PDP, right? And I also wanted to run for president. On the 20th, I will remember my tweet. On the 21st of March in 2022, I was an aspirant for presidential election under PDP. I said that if Bola Tinubu wins the primary for APC, I said categorically that he would do well. I knew he would do it. He has come into government at a very difficult time. I don't know why he decided to come at this time. This is a very bad time for anybody to come and administer this administration.
But you campaigned for Peter Obi.
I did. Because
you think that Peter Obi wouldn't have done better or Atiku Abubakar would have done better?
Let me tell you, of all the people that actually ran for president in 2023, by benefit of hindsight, Bola Tinubu is the best.
Even the Peter Obi you worked for?
I'm telling you that from the benefit of the hindsight, I've seen Peter Obi, I've been with Atiku Abubakar. I also knew, many people are not aware, I knew Bola Tinubu so many years ago. We have interacted. I've not seen him in the last 7-8 years or whatever. That's not the point. But in terms of capacity, capability, and, commitment and knowledge, people keep underestimating what he did in Lagos. What he did in Lagos was a wonderful job. I went and I met and I sat with him, for 3 hours. And he took me through what they were doing and what they will do. And I was, even though I was in NRC or so at that time, I was impressed. I was heavily impressed. So, I think that if this country will give this gentleman some time, like I heard Bode George talk this morning, and that's the truth. You cannot judge this administration only, just after 1 year in office.
You get that? out of the three of them that ran for president in Nigeria, Bola Tinubu is the best. In terms of capacity, in terms of, you know, if you see what he did in Lagos, look at what he did in Lagos. I mean, I start with him for 3 hours, and he showed me what he was doing in Lagos. I was like, it's marvelous. But Lagos no get drainage. There's no drainages in Lagos. The Lagos no get sewage system. 25 years after democracy, Lagos has no drinking water. There's no public water in Lagos. Okay? Lagos has no electricity. That's 25 years after. 75% of the road network in Lagos are unmotorable. Horrible. Security, well, we call it the mega slum. But you see, these guys, they continue to repeat that, you know, that lie. If you know what he did in Lagos, look at what he did in Lagos. You know, you see what he did in Lagos. He's the most intelligent, okay? And 1 year is not enough to judge him. That's exactly what Bode George also said. Indeed.
You know, young lady, there is a hell of a difference. If you had been in government, national government, you know how long it takes you. He had never served at that level. He had never served at that level. And he was, well, you would have said they were all part of the same party that formed the government. There's a hell of a difference of taking over and now leading the team. I am being fair to my conscience and to my creator. I want to be fair. He has had that holiday 1 year of trying to study, of trying to know what happened, why did this happen, why didn't we were able to handle the oil sector, the gas sector, where are those leakages? I have given him that 1 year of grace because now he has seen it. He has lived there. I expect all his ministers to have come back with a report in 1 year, those areas of lapses. Now, I said, you know, even when Baba became president in 1999 when he won, the first 1 year he was still grappling and rolling and trying to find out what happened here, what didn't happen there, why did this happen, why should we go this way and not that way. So by now, he would have collated all those areas because we can't see any serious impact in any sector. Somebody will give you this story today, another one will repeat. So what exactly, where are we? Look at the fuel subsidy. They said some will come up and say, oh, there was no oil subsidy. Some will come and tell you, yes, there was subsidy. Some said they have mortgaged the sale of our crude oil for 15 years. Some said 5 years. We don't know where we are. And I am not bringing a political attack now. I want to give him that chance because, you know, there is an old saying. Let those of us at this age give our best of today so that there can be much better time for tomorrow. So we've given him.
Okay,
we will see which
sir.
direction. I told you that people are still hungry. People are angry.
This is not the Ahmed Bola Tinubu I know.
Not yet. Asari, calm down. We need to give him time. They have to study this, they have to study that, and all of that. You see, 1 year is not. That man said if Tinubu become president of Nigeria, he was going to leave Nigeria because Nigerians go see Pege. This man is no longer asking about how Tinubu, converted all of the properties of Lagos state government to his own, and then turned the Lagos state wallet to his piggy bank. Anyway, people are unraveling, so to say. Continue. Well, let Rufai should come in, please.
This is your son, Rufai.
Amio.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. But, sir, I will have to be firm,
Thank you.
I will have to be firm. Sir, this was the same President Tinubu.
Yeah.
That your famous question is, he should tell us his name, his primary school, who owns Alpha Beta, and all of that. So you've forgiven him for all of that. Yeah. Is it because the APC sent some people to come and meet you before inauguration day? Because we noticed is after that meeting, although you denied that there was no agreement to, you've suspended her. After that meeting, you have turned the narrative have turned to Omowani Ejoshe.